All right, so I cut out all my 1/8 inch sheets for his shoe rack and for her shoe rack. I have the big cabinet one. I cut that one out, and the shelf storage system. So I got all of those already cut up. What I need to cut now is that's all 1/8 inch. I need to cut my shelves for, I think this is the storage one. So I need six of 39 by 14 and an eighth. Then I need so I need one shelf. The hell is this? Plus two shelves. So that's shelves plus two. So one plus two. Uh, gotta find out what the hell this one's for because this is shelves. 28. That should be for that one, and 39. Oh, this is a spacer in between. Okay. This is a spacer that's gonna go between the two shoe racks, between the his and hers. So they'll be divided. You'll have a lower section for the his, and then in the same his section, there'll be an empty space where you can have like perfumes, hats, anything like that, of like about 2 feet. And then on top of that will be the other additional his rack for his shoes. That way there's just a little bit of a break in the middle of the wall. That's what that'll be for. So I have to build that at 3/4 and then the shelves. So I got the majority of everything else already going. That's the drawer cabinet that's gonna get, but these are all that is the that is the hers, that is the storage. These are some of the shelves. We got some more storage right here, and they're all gonna get edge banding, so it'll have a nice kind of trim out. Where is that piece? Oh, it's right here. So all of them, instead of getting actual edge banding and painting, I want to go a little bit more kind of an exotic finish on it. The hardware is going to be all gold, but this will be the face of it, and they're all going to get this actual walnut edge banding on it. I still need to make this smaller, so it'll be like this, and then it'll get stained, so it's a little bit darker. It'll get a feature like this cabinet that we have back here with the extendable arms right here. So that'll get nice and stained, contrasting the color of the cabinet. So that's what we're going for with this blue. Now this is the actual solid color. All of those other pieces have been sanded because they had a little bit of the plywood fuzz, like I call it peach fuzz, when there's a little bit of a grit on there. So after 2 coats, I sanded it down, super smooth now. So one more roll, and then they'll be perfectly finished, and then they'll get nice and dark again. So it'll be the same effect. It'll have gold. I think I had a gold bar around here. But that'll be a custom shoe rack. It'll be his and hers. In the middle will be, oh, I think I have the designs in here. I'm looking for the designs. I don't know where I might have left them. Thanks to my wife, she was cleaning in here, but now I don't know where I left my notes. But it was filthy in here. Okay. So I'll go ahead and post a picture at the end of the live. That way you guys can see. But we're using our system here. I will be, after I finish the cabinets, I will be making all the adjustments that I need to do for this table. So I can tear it apart, paint anything that's not painted, finalize all the details. I think the butcher block on the bottom here needs to get stained. It's nice and sanded. It just needs to get stained. Everything else is gonna get painted black. That's not the actual welding table, including this. I need to take this off. You can see that I welded all this up. I had to make multiple cuts. That's why there's an ugly weld right there. I had to recut this and resize it a couple times. But grind all the ugly welds down, adjust any of the anchor points, and then paint it all, and paint the top as well. We still need to try to see how we're gonna get our router in here. But the problem we were having is that all router systems, even from Rockler, this is the cutout design. That way I could still use the grids from over here to install the fences. But I quickly noticed that they're made to just sit on top. So you router the outer profile out, and then you cut out the center profile out. But they're just meant to drop in. But since this table folds down when you need to move it around and store it, it would be falling out. So I don't know if I'll just do how they do it and maybe just glue the actual router base onto my table. But first I need to make sure I have the final top that I'm going to be using, which I might want to do something like plexiglass or hardwood that's just maybe multiple layers, like a 1/4 inch, build it up to 3/4, so it doesn't have any warping through the time. I still have my adjustable bolts, like I have the entire table. Now you can see the little anchor points, like here. Now you can see them if I get closer. But with that, I can flatten the table, but I just want to make sure I keep it as flat as I can since the start. So that video will be coming out soon. Hey Belle, how you doing? Appreciate you being on the live. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for the likes, guys. If you have more questions, let me know. We are going to be working on these once we finish up with the cabinets, or as soon as we're done painting, then I can go ahead and start cutting wood for here, because I cut up all the pieces for the panels. What's left is I need to make the drawers. So I need the sides, the rails, and then the fronts. Then I just cut the last bottom panels for the drawers, and then we're done. We have some doors over there that we will be making for this his and hers. The shoe racks will have glass doors. In this case, we're going to be using plexiglass, but I'm going to be adding a groove in here and then turning these hardwood panels into the door frames themselves. So just imagine if it was this, but in the center it will be clear. That way you can still see the shoes, and then you'll be able to open up, access the shoes, making sure that they stay clean, dust free and everything. So we'll be working on that today. But we do need to get these painted so we can start assembling them and installing them. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to get back to finding out what it is I need, which is, so I need to get the shelves, and then this is the 2 centerpieces. So what I'm going to do is, where's my tape? These were designed to have a 2 foot, 24 inches of spacing between the his and hers, which is a really good spot for, like, for example, on his you could have perfumes and stuff like that. On hers you could have perfumes, maybe hats, jewelry box or something. That's gonna be in the middle of separation from the her shoes separation, and then more shoes. But I'm gonna cut a few inches because I want to clear 2 inches on the top of the his and 2 inches at the bottom. One of the reasons is I noticed today in the morning that at the ceiling there's a bit of access for the attic, and that will hit the doors that I'm going to be making. So if I just go all the way to the ceiling, it's going to be hitting. So in order to clear that, if I add 2 inches at the top, that'll clear the doors of anything in the ceiling. How you guys doing? Thank you for being on the live. And then I'll do the same thing at the bottom. So from this 24, since the shoe racks are already made exactly to the measurement of the actual wall spacings, we're building some custom walk-in closet cabinets. Then we'll go ahead and have this one a little bit shorter, so we can add a little bit of spacing at the bottom and the top for, like I mentioned previously, so we could have some walnut at the bottom and the top as decorative features. That way I can use some of my walnut that's up there. I got like 8-inch boards. I can make 2 inches at the bottom and 2 at the top, just so they're decorative. And that way we can make sure that everything fits perfectly and opens up without any issues. So today we already cut up the back panels. I already did that off camera before I got started. Well, we started assembling some. We have to paint some of the surfaces on those so we can block them. These are already 2 coats in. and they've been sanded to smoothen every kind of fuzz on them, so they're super smooth. But clean them up, last coat. I think we gotta paint the edges because this will be stained. So paint the edges, and then the fronts and the backs are gonna get the edge banding, as I've mentioned before. That'll be this. So we gotta get some of these from up there and make sure that we get them cut up. So that's what we're working on today. We're gonna get started right now. La de esta máquina esa, y hay que estirar esos pedazos porque los lijé y están llenos de polvo. Después de esto le vamos a pasar una lija nomás a estos para que haga la pintura y le vamos a empezar a la pintura. Pero primero empezamos a limpiar esto.
¿Cómo se hay que aspirarlo?
Sí, aspirarle porque hay mucho polvo y luego le pasamos con una garra para quitarle el último de polvo. Atrás tiene la goma, ¿no? Ahí siempre van.
No.
Con esa.
Con esa.
Sí. Esta la vamos a dar.
¿Cómo?
Agua se lo saca la cámara.
Llévala para allá. Ahí está bien. El lado que está fino.
Sí.
Ah, sí, en ese lado no.
Sí. No es para que agarre la pintura. Para que se pueda pegar bien. I just started cutting the stiles and rails for the doors. That will be the glass doors for the shoe rack. But I gotta go check the plexiglass because I'm cutting at a 1/4 inch groove, and I might need a little bit less or more than that. So I'll be right back.